You know, David Pakman, people like him, really on point. They're able to look at these electoral issues and look at the electorate and look at the voting blocks and gerrymandering and Supreme Court decisions and all that. They can sit down and really get deep into this kind of stuff. Sam Cedar, Majority Report, Jimmy Dore, Young Turks, all of them. And that's great. But sometimes there are just some issues that I can understand better than they can. And something came up over the weekend that it's a great example of that. So Trump was rushed to the hospital. And I guess the new story is that they wanted to get ahead on the physical, which makes no sense. They have doctors at the White House. I mean, these are just blatant lies. They have doctors at the White House. They can have people flown up there. People can come up there to see him. He didn't have to come to the hospital. Him going to the hospital announced immediately as a red flag. This is an emergency. He's the president. They've got doctors for that, man. Most large corporations have medical people on site anyway. I'm not even talking about politics. Police departments, the Charlotte Police got a nurse, I think, up there. They got a behavioral, like woman to talk to you and all that if you have any issues, all that stuff. You need to go to the hospital. And so he's rushed to the hospital. They didn't tell what happened. He was only there a couple hours, which a physical takes longer than that. So it wasn't a physical. And people are, this is Tuesday morning, and people are still kind of blowing it off like it's nothing. And I realized something. I've been realizing things just here and there, Trump, the one thing he's accomplished is getting white men to think that whatever he does is stuff they would do. It's kind of like when Obama got elected and black people were like, he's going to legalize all of marijuana. He didn't. He's going to close Guantanamo Bay. He didn't. A lot of things he was going to do that he never said he was going to do. He had black folks talking about it. And he's going to be playing hip-hop in the White House, and he wasn't. I mean, he would have been a joke if he had. He didn't do those things. But Trump does the things that we would stereotype a racist old rich white man would do. That's the difference. And even if he doesn't do them, he has white people thinking like that. That he's getting a head start on his physical. No, that's what you would do. Well, he just broke his physical in half. He's a busy man. No, that's what you would do. They can have people do the physical at the White House. Yes. But he's got them to think like that. That whatever he says, and that's why they cover for Trump. It's like I made the comment the other day that I didn't realize until recently that when he came out and said bad people on both sides, I think he believed that. That wasn't rhetoric. That was not rhetoric. That was his own opinion. That was really in his mind, because I don't think Trump sees the Klan as an existential threat. The Proud Boys, none of it. I think Trump sees them as groups. Like the Bloods and the Crips. Those are threats to public safety. Whether they're just hanging out on the street corner, that's, obviously you got gang members who don't engage in violence. You got guys who just hang around. I know that. But, you got some dangerous people out here who are gang banging, and they're killing. And that's real. Whether they're doing it right in front of you, or whether they're just walking by you at the store or going into the store, that's real. If you took me to the food bank and I watched Klansmen handing out food, there's still an extra threat. I would still see them as a threat, period, point blank, whether they're doing good or not. Trump don't see it that way. And we talk all the time about how Trump isn't the president for half of the country. He's not. He's a president for 1/3 of the country, and that's growing smaller and smaller, based off his own actions and his own behaviors. He's blowing people off. He's frustrating his own base. That's crazy. You know, the president's rush to and we're really living in a strange, uncertain time. That's the point I try to make very often. Is just we're living in a time where white supremacy is at war with itself. Point blank period. It's at war with itself. That's entertaining to me. Is to see that and realize that it's at war with itself. Peace out.